Good evening, San Diego. I'm Chief Meteorologist Carlene Chavis, and thank you for tuning in for your CBS 8 Plus weather update. A whole lot of heat. We're still talking about it. We're still going to be talking about it all the way into next week, as there has been an extension when it does come to some of those heat alerts, especially west of the mountains. When we look at how we shaped up for today, today's highs were anywhere between 10 to 21 degrees above seasonal. Now, we were looking at some very hot ones, even talking about that for the coast as well as for metro cities. Now, over the past couple of days, it's just been more of a focus across inland areas, but now that heat is expanding and more of it is anticipated as we go into the weekend forecast for the coast, for the metro cities, and also for the inland valleys, basically all areas west of the mountains. But by today, we were feeling it. 111 was the high today for Ramona, 1 degree of tying the previous record set back in 2020. Now, we did have one area in the whole entire region of Southern California that got to a record today, and it broke a record, and that was in Indio. So in the Coachella Valley, they were dealing with heat up to 121, broke the previous record that was set back on this day at 120, and that was back in 2020. So a lot of heat that's still going around. We're still looking at it as we go into the weekend, and then we also have to factor in humidity, especially for the mountains and the desert will be more of an impact because of monsoon moisture, heating of the day, and some thunderstorms being possible. The key time frame, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. That's when we get the most intense sun rays. We start to get the heating of the day going, and also talking about the time frame in which our daytime highs are reached, which is roughly around 2 to 4 in the afternoons when we really get those. So that's when we're telling you to avoid those strenuous outdoor activities, making sure that you can stay nice and cool because these hot temperatures are going to continue to stick around. That's going to be our main weather impact. On top of the hot temperatures, you also have really dry conditions that we had earlier today. So elevated fire weather concerns will continue all the way through Friday. And as previously mentioned, monsoon moisture will be back in the forecast. So it's just going to continue to feel uncomfortable here. Stay cool, drink plenty of water, make sure you utilize cool zones. We have a story right there on our website where you can go to find cool zones. I was talking about it yesterday, and that's with an excessive heat story that's right on our homepage, cbs8.com. Kirsten Holmes also did a story that is also going to be on our website of where you can find these cool zones, ways to protect yourself in this heat. You just really have to think about that over the next few days because I know a lot of you do not have AC, and you've sent me the DMs, you've sent me the emails, and this is the best way. So making sure that you are staying nice and cool, fans, AC if you can find it, especially with those cool zones, or any activities that allow your body temperature to stay cool because you just don't want to get heat stroke or also heat exhaustion. Two very crucial things to think about as we go through the next few days and knowing those signs. Also on our website with that excessive heat story, if you go to it, you will also find those signs when it does come to heat exhaustion as well as for heat stroke. So we're still talking about the heat in the forecast all the way through tomorrow for the mountains as well as for the desert with the excessive heat warning that will continue. So we're still looking at those highs in the 90s as well as up to 104 across the mountains. For the desert, you're still locked into the 110s. 112 to 120 is the range, and we're still looking at temperatures in that range by tomorrow. As mentioned, it's now been extended all the way until the start of next week for the inland valleys. That's going to bring the heat upwards of 102 to 112. We're looking at that for tomorrow. Most of that heat really being felt east of the 15 as we did have widespread triple digits. When we look at the other alert that went into effect this morning, and that is for coast and metro areas, that's when you're talking about the heat advisory. So warmer than usual temperatures will continue. That range about 85 to 95 degrees, and that will keep going all the way through Monday. So Monday, those highs will also be very hot. When we look at ways to beat the heat, let's go ahead and break this down. You're talking about drinking plenty of water. You're also talking about avoiding those outdoor activities, those strenuous outdoor activities. So make sure that you are not hiking, you're not exercising, anything that would have you outside for a long period of time. I know Marcella likes to go and play pickleball. Well, she does it early in the morning because that is when it's crucial because you don't want to be out there during that key time frame about 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. So you're avoiding those activities. You're utilizing those cool zones, also being mindful of your pets. We did a story about a month ago, and so that was Brandon Lewis who did it. It's also really good to put some ice cubes, especially in their bowl. Allow them to have like a little bit of a treat, and that will keep their body temperature down as well, and giving them plenty of water and making sure you're also wearing some light colored, lightweight, loose fitted clothing. That always helps too, especially because a lot of that heat, a lot of that those sun rays will actually bounce off of that clothing and go right back out. That's why we talk about for asphalt, it really absorbs it. And that's why we say you should wear some light colors because that will also help you. If you're going to go to the beach, keep in mind we have the surf about 3 to 5 feet and a high risk of rip currents at our local beaches. So it's about a moderate to high risk. Please use caution. If you're not a skilled swimmer, you're not advised to be in the water, but maybe dip a toe in there because that water temperature is about 72 degrees. That will definitely help you, and beating the heat will feel a lot more comfortable. So you have this area of high pressure that's going to stick around. We're still looking at it into the start of the weekend. And then by the second half of the weekend, you notice that it gets nudged a little bit more towards the east. But that opens the door for monsoonal moisture in the forecast because it moves over the four corners. And with that circulation, you're seeing that clockwise circulation, it taps into that moisture over the Gulf of Mexico. So still talking about heat, but making things even more uncomfortable, the humidity. We are still going to be dry for tomorrow with elevated fire weather concerns. As mentioned, temperatures climbing. We still have weather impact alert days all the way through Monday of next week. And then we get out of those 90s and 80s and go right back into those 70s. And also a return of a deepening of the marine layer. So that's going to be by the middle of the week, taking us all the way into Thursday, helping to bring those temperatures down. You have triple digit heat all the way until Monday for the inland valleys, weather impact alert days as a result. And then you have 90s returning, and that's going to be on Tuesday. That's actually in the near seasonal range for this time of the year, and then going a little bit below that as you're right back into those 80s by Wednesday and Thursday of next week with a deepening of that marine layer. Weather impact alert day for tomorrow. You have 99 degrees as a high for the mountains. Some spots will get into triple digit territory. Then by the weekend, temperatures come down, added cloud cover as well, those high clouds. And with the heating of the day, that is going to lead to the potential for some showers and thunderstorms. So we're seeing that mainly for the mountains, but it could stray a little west of the mountains and then also stray in towards the desert as well. It's just those chances are low. So we're looking at those chances for this weekend as temperatures come down. We're still in the 90s though, so still uncomfortable out there across the mountains. It's not until you get to the middle of next week we dry out, and also talk about temperatures dipping down a little bit more. 114 tomorrow for the desert, still dangerously hot. There's your chance for a thunderstorm or two. Now, it is more favorable for Saturday, but I don't want to say you can entirely rule it out by Sunday. Just something to be mindful of. Those chances are just super, super low, like in the single digits. But I just want to also stress that too. And then you go into next week. Temperatures come down even more. You're talking about 104, and that's actually a seasonal high for this time of the year for the desert. So still a hot one, but just not talking about excessive heat. I hope you have a great night. Please make sure you're keeping yourself nice and cool, as well as your neighbors and your furry friends. I hope you have a great night, and thanks for tuning in.